Alrighty. So blessings to all and welcome to our healing yoga class. Tonight we have I always say tonight when I know it's the morning. This morning we have a group intention of letting go, shedding what no longer serves so that we can flow like a river or any sort of flow that connects to you. As always in our healing yoga, this is a guidance and offerings that I'm offering just so that you can connect to your vital force. So we're holding healing space for whatever your process is right now. If anything I'm offering doesn't feel right in the body, please just come to any position of mindfulness and just be with us in this way. So I like to start with group harmonization, 3 Oms and 3 Shantis. If you want standing, seated, chair, doesn't matter where you are right now, but let's take a moment just to ground down through wherever your sit bones are. It's helpful if you're sat somewhere, but you can be wherever you want to be. So grounding down through the sit bones. I'm sitting this way, you do not have to. Any comfortable position. Press down into the support beneath you and then allow that support to lengthen you up from the spine. Nice and gentle. If you'd like, let the hands float to heart space center. Take an inhale and exhale through your chest. Imagine there are nostrils on your chest that you can breathe through so that you can fill the lungs nice and wide. So because I'm working with a few new folks today and anyone who watches this, I just want to say the journey of Om, in case you've never Om'd or not comfortable, you do not have to, but an intention for Oming can simply be the noise vibration starts from the root and journeys up the body. So the Ah is low, the O is the heart, you can feel it, and then the is the head generally. So allow it to simply just be, if you'd like, this journey from the root up to the head. If you'd like to do 3 Oms and 3 Shantis, feel free to harmonize with us. You can also just listen or chant internally. Take an inhale and exhale through the nose. Let's be aware we're breathing there, please. On the next exhale, 3 Oms and 3 Shantis if you'd like. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Meaning peace, peace, peace to self, to each other, to all beings. Thank you so much. So we'll get started now, standing on up. And if you have a prop, you're welcome to use. I have a yoga block, but I know everyone might not. You can use a pillow. We got foam rollers. I'll show you can use our foam roller. There's a really long one. But anyway, just saying you can find anything to help you. We're going to ground down through the lower body. You do not have to use a prop. Come and just meet us wherever you are standing. So let's start from the feet. Look at the toes, lift the toes, spread the toes, and then grip your toes. Feet are about hip width distance or a comfortable supporting distance that you find stabilizing. Grip through those toes and then lift through your inner arch of your foot. Allow that lift through the inner arch to connect to the sensation of like a crescent moon from the toe mound, outer ridge of your foot to the heel. You're pressing and grounding through those and the toes, lifting through the arch. Take your time with that as long as you'd like. Engage the kneecaps up. If you're using a prop, you'll feel by pressing the thigh muscles and the hamstrings into it, or you'll simply feel it in just standing posture too, but engaging these upper legs for strength and stability. And then come to the glutes, engage all 3 glutes. We have 3 different muscles on each side. And then do a little sway with your pelvis. Find this neutrality where you rock forward a little, you rock back. Find a nice balance right in the center. I'll call these the lower body engagements from the feet to the pelvis, possibly. So just know I'm trying to refer from the feet onto the pelvis with all of these engagements. Take a moment to feel that within yourself, from the rooted feet, up through the knees, through the hips, nice and neutral and engaged. If that feels good for you, now we go to the upper body, thumbs spiral backwards. Notice external rotation lifts our beautiful heart space. Internal rotation does the opposite. So just kind of feeling that for yourself. We're going to take a pause in the external rotation, lifting the heart, spreading the collarbones. Reach out through the top of your head. Allow yourself to breathe in and out through the nose. Be aware of the breath. So we'll come into some arm movements now for alignment. We're going to just keep grounding down through our lower body. I promise this will feel really good throughout our movement and really just to give you a firm, stable base. At any time you want to come to seated or anything else, totally welcome. Inhale, palms up. You can come to a T. Feel the shoulder blades connect down the back body towards the glutes and come together so that you're spreading the chest up and out to the side by bringing your own shoulder blades together and down towards your glutes. From the T, you can come to a V. And I just want to offer, so I'm starting to go up, stay where you are if it feels good. You can also go down. If you're having some neck tension or anything, you can just do these positions downward. Okay, so T to maybe a V, to maybe an H. Shoulder blades are still connecting and drawing down towards your glutes. Remember the lower body. Engage from the feet to the pelvis, please. Find your rooted base. To maybe a W. Remember, you can do this the other way. Opening the heart, the chest. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, push down with the palms. Here's that internal rotation. This one's the hardest one for me some days. Notice the breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's come back to our Tadasana. Thumbs spiral back. Take any time to notice and reflect on any sensations you're feeling. So we said our group intention is letting go, shedding what no longer serves to flow. Maybe you have your own motivation, your own intention you're working with for practice. Take a moment to connect to that. Inhale, reach up to that. Connect to your motivation or intention and pull this down through you, through your midline, through your neutral. Do it 2 more times if it feels right with me. Inhale, reach up. Letting go of what no longer serves and your own intention. 1 more. Inhale, reach up for that intention, and then pulling it down through your whole center midline. And come back to a Tadasana. Feel the heart lifting. Feel the collarbones lifting and spreading. Engage your pelvic floor. The block or prop may be helping if you're using it. If not, just engaging the pelvic floor up towards your heart. Engage your navel towards your spine, towards your heart. Engage your chin down towards your heart. Reach out through the crown of your head. Inhale, reach back up for that motivation or intention. And here the spine in 4 directions. Take another inhale to lengthen from your rooted feet. Take an exhale to curl to the right, crescent moon, opening and lengthening the side body. Tuck your upper arm behind the ear. Maybe it feels good to look up, but check in with the neck, only if that feels available. Keep grounding down through the lower body. Inhale back to center. At any time, if the arms up is too much, just come down to heart or hips, or come meet us back whenever ready. Take an inhale to lengthen. Second direction, exhale, crescent moon the other way. Keep a nice stable foundation through the feet, through the pelvis. Inhale and exhale. Inhale back to center. Here's our third one, cactus arms if it feels good. I love this for the heart opening. So we have a heart opener. It's coming from the strong legs, pressing your pelvis forward, the shoulder blades together, and then up to the sky. Notice that the spine gets sent in a curve, but we're not really accessing the spine. It just naturally happens by pressing the pelvis forward and bringing the shoulder blades together and up. Keep your neck long. We're still warming up. Bring your chin in towards your throat. Last direction, back to neutral. Maybe your arms go back here, or again, just check in. You can always do arms down. Fourth direction, bring your head forward, round. Breathe into the upper back. Let the shoulder blades fan out. Let the head go. Let the neck go. Let the tongue and eyes soften. Inhale, come back to center, and then come back to a Tadasana. Begin to check in with those lower body engagements. They should be feeling really nice and stable now, from the feet to the knees to the pelvis. Beautiful. Let's do those energetic engagements again, drawing the pelvic floor up towards your heart. Draw your navel towards the spine and then towards the heart. Direct your chin down towards your heart. Inhale and exhale out through the top of your head. Beautiful focus, everyone. So I'd like for us to now just to bring more awareness to our pelvis. One hand to low abdomen, one hand to your low back. You should connect to the low back, or maybe even your sacrum, the flat plate back there. But try not to get too lost about it, or if you can't find it. Breathe into the hands on your body. Nice deep breaths. Maybe you feel these subtle movements in the hands, bringing awareness to the pelvic girdle. We hold healing space for any of those vital messages within to be heard, witnessing and observing any internal messages. And then go ahead and just switch the hands for me. See if anything feels different. In yoga, we study that the hands have different meanings and energetics, but just take a note if you feel any difference. Keep breathing into the hands. Beautiful. Back to Tadasana. Remember our group intention of letting go what no longer serves. Connect to your own motivation or intention. Inhale, intention breath, reach on up, stretch to that intention, and pull it down through your whole midline and center. Beautiful. So now we'll take this, if we had a prop, let it go. Keep those engagements though. We're just gonna try to have it without the block now. Hands to your hips, either on the side or maybe to the back if you can. Just see what feels good, any of these spots, just to bring awareness again to the pelvis. And now we'll do some pelvic circles. We did this last week. It was kind of a fun thing, but take your feet as wide as you want. Feel free to be as, fluid or as dance-like as you want, but it's not really for the external. I really want you to feel internal. Just connect to these gentle circles that we're making with the pelvis and let the hands, arms, feet, legs move with the pelvis. The pelvis is the generator, not anything else. Let's complete one more circle in this direction, just seeing how we feel in our joints, and then switch, go the opposite way. I can always tell where I'm kind of tight because I'll like kink up somewhere and then I just breathe there. But we all have different bodies, different constitutions, so you might feel or experience it differently. Let's take one more circle loop around. Beautiful. And then come back to a Tadasana. Imagine you have a prop in between your legs. Find those engagements from the feet, knees, thighs, pelvis. Keep those lower body engagements activated. We're going to do some twists and we really want to have support for these twists. Let's start with our hands at heart. Connect to your inner heartbeat or your inner vibration. From your pelvis, where we've been working with, to your ribs, take an inhale, twist to the left. Let an exhale twist you to the right. So I just wanted to show first kind of slow, but you can go faster if you want, or you can go really slow. It's really your own guidance. I would like for you to follow your inner guide. Feel free to find some breaths. So I'm going to talk about the breath. Always welcome in our healing yoga audible exhales like a little sigh. I love horse breath. You'll see why it's called horse breath. You go, it really helps relax the nervous system, find that we're resting and digesting. So check in if this feels good. Maybe you tee out the arms, palms up, same movement. From the pelvis to the ribs, twisting with the breath. Maybe you keep your hands at heart. Just find what feels best for you here. Really want this to feel fluid for you and your body and your experience. Let's do a few more. Any audible breath, welcome. Start to slow down and come back to a Tadasana. Take 3 breaths connecting to any sensations you're experiencing. All right, we're going to go into some form now. Try to keep all this grounded sensation and alignment that we've been working on as we open up into our yoga posture more. So let's step the left leg forward, the right leg back, warrior 1. And I like to start with hands on hips so that we're just in tune with the pelvis because we're really focusing on that today. Front knee over ankle, you can direct your knee towards the outer pinky to help engage these strong muscles of the thigh. Root down through the back ridge of your back foot. We'll have a little flow happen with our arms soon, but I'd like for you to connect. Do you feel wobbly? Maybe narrow the stance in. If you're feeling like you're really stable and strong, maybe you do a little more. So just connecting to what feels good for you and your body. And then let's float the arms on up to that H alongside the ears. Inhale and exhale. If it feels good, interlace the hands back behind the head. Press your own back of your head into your hands. Allow that to open your heart. If it feels good, you can even press the shoulder blades together and up to the sky like we did in the beginning. Lift your own heart, but only if that feels good. If you start to get wobbly, come back to stability. Come back to grounding. I love the sunlight, Cindy Lou. I always love that in the morning coming through. I know you can't see it, but it looks so nice from my angle. All right, so here we go. Let's take those arms back to H and then cactus. Here's a little flow to the hips. Just try that for a few times with me. Back up now, cactus, up, cactus, hips. Maybe you do it again, or maybe you found one you like better. I'll leave that open to you, or you can go through the flow again. Beautiful. Take a pause wherever you find yourself. When you're ready, back leg is going to come forward. Maybe you just take one little step. Ground down, Tadasana. So we'll try that on the other side now. Nice shakeouts. I love that. So the horse breath is great for this when we're doing, it's pretty much with doing this inside the body, going. So if you want to incorporate that breath with some movement, some shaking, some softening, that's great. If and when you're ready, right leg forward, left leg steps back, warrior one. Sorry, my foundation was a little bit wobbly there. Root down through the feet, hands to hips when you're ready. Front knee pulls towards the outer pinky for nice thigh engagements. Check in with stability. If you're feeling really stable, maybe you go wider. If we're wobbly, narrower. Maybe you bring the arms up to H, inhale and exhale. Switch the interlace. It should feel the opposite way you want to initially go. And then maybe you push your head back into your hand. Maybe you tilt the chest up high by bringing the shoulder blades together and pressing them up to the sky. Inhale and exhale. Come back to neutral. Inhale and exhale, back in our H. If it feels good, express that flow of the arms. Cactus, hips. Cactus, H. Keep the breath flowing. Inhales and exhales. Only doing the movement if it feels good. Or just staying at one position. When you're ready, back leg is going to take a hop forward, engage front leg nice and strong, Tadasana. Whew, inhale and exhale. And any shakes, totally welcome, audible exhales, or horse breath. Very nice. And I'm realizing, I think our recording's on. We might want to mute just for Lauren, I don't know if Lauren's around, but it doesn't matter. It'll be in the recording. So just so you know, guys, totally be welcome, but I think we forgot to mute, and unfortunately, I'm not in charge of that anymore. Okay, so awesome. And let's just to shake that off. Again, just shake it off, and then beautiful. So come to a Tadasana when you're ready. That's engagement stance. You can always just stay here. Let's try it warrior two if you'd like. Step back with the left. This time, hips open to the left. Instead of what we were just doing, woo, instead of being centered, now we're going to open out to the side. So you can take the arms out in a T, palms up. And then if you'd like, you can flip them down. I like the palms up to allow my shoulders and my arms to depress, and then I find my engagements with my palms down further. Inhale and exhale. So I'm coming to the side just to show you guys where we can do with our legs. So here's warrior two. Front knee pulls towards that pinky. Beautiful, strong stance, everyone. And I'm just looking at Cindy Lou there. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale. See if you can balance. I'm doing it even inappropriately. Balance your shoulders over your pelvis. Try not to be too far forward, too far back. Find a balance. And now straighten that front leg. Have your left hand wrap around the back body. Have your right hand come to your ribs. lengthen. They were just having this so we can like lengthen through our side body. Allow yourself to then rotate, coming to triangle posture with this side body lengthening. And only tilt as much as feels good. It might just be a hair that you tilt and then you stop. Maybe you go a little more. Doesn't matter how much you tilt. Try to find that balance of the equal triangle, the most balanced form. You can let the hands come to hips and get off the ribs if you'd like. I kind of like this for just keeping my side body long, but you're welcome to float them somewhere else. Stay the same with your upper body, please, and have the legs just moving. Come back to that bent knee. Here we are with side angle. You can have the right arm support on the leg, or again, just stay with the engagements of hands on the body for the lengthening of your side body muscles. Inhale and exhale. So just as we came in, we're going to come out. Try to straighten that front knee, triangle. Don't hyperextend. We don't want to hurt the knee. Just soften. And then warrior two. Awesome. And now you'll try to come forward to the top of the mat, but you may have to rotate a little and take a little bit of a hop, get the pelvis forward, and then come back to start Tadasana. Let's connect to your intention or the group intention, letting go what no longer serves. Inhale, reach on up. Exhale, pull it down through you. Try to have no attachments to the results of this. It's just grounding, soothing practice. If and when you're ready, Tadasana, and flow right into this on the other side. Right leg steps back, warrior two. And this time we'll have our hips open to the opposite side, to the right if you're doing it the same with me. Tee out the arms, palms up. Just to depress the arm bones, depress the shoulders, make space in the neck. And then you can put the palms down. Look, focus over the front fingertips. Find that your hips and shoulders are balanced so you're not too far forward, too far back. I'm going to show from the side again. Here's our movement. Maybe right hand spirals to that hip, the low back, the opposite hip, I should say. And then left hand to your lower ribs, lengthen through the side body. We have these beautiful muscles to use and support us. From that, we're going to straighten the front leg without hyperextending, have a little soft bend, triangle pose, shift this lengthening side body. Remember, it can just be a hair that you move. You don't have to tilt very much. Find something stable. And then surrender. This is what I meant to say in the beginning. For the other Cindy, I meant to say healing yoga is about finding that edge and then pausing before passing. So we really don't want to push ourselves past the sensation. Find your sensation and then pause. Beautiful. Begin to let the arms float elsewhere if they want, or stay. And the upper body staying where it is, just bend that front knee. Side angle pose. So now this is kind of like a merging of warrior two and triangle. We just merge those poses into one. When you're ready, let's start to come out just as we came in. Triangle, warrior two. Nice flows, everyone. And then you'll maybe take those kind of hops. I like to just kind of pivot my back foot in and then come back to start. Whew. Or Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful job, everyone. Take a few breath cycles here, maybe even connecting back to the pelvis. Just breathing deep breaths into the low belly. Maybe even feeling the breath in your hands. At any time, audible exhales are welcome. Or helps release and soften the nervous system. Use this as a healing time for yourself so we can be there for our loved ones around us, for our environment fully. All right, one more standing posture. So come wide 3 to 4 feet with the legs. And I know I'm showing off the mat, so you see it really doesn't matter if you have a mat or not. It's not really so important. So now we're going to come to Utthata Konasana. This is or they call goddess translation sometimes. Bend your knees over your ankles. We'll do these gentle twists here. You can support with your hands above the knees, twisting from your root to your ribs like we did earlier. Only allow this to happen as much feels good. Try to have the head, neck be the last thing in the gaze. You're really coming from this area first. And that the head is just staying neutral with the twists. If it feels good, you can do a breath sounding like, to release any buildup. It helps to balance the energy of the body. Beautiful. Feel free to do this for a few more times if it feels good. And then slowly begin to come back to neutral. Begin to bring the toes in line with the knees forward. Star pose, stretch on up. Arms and legs mirror one another. Inhale, lift your heart space, lift your chest. And then release the arms. You can toe heel together or bend the knees, take a little hop back in, whatever feels good. We're gonna come down onto the mat. So I like to lower down through a squat if this is feeling available, kind of like a shorter pose of what we just did, but find a nice supported way to come on down to the floor. We'll put the feet to the mat, bend and flex the knees up. Give yourself a gentle little loving hug now. Thank you, body. I am grateful. Thank you. I love you. These are just some of the things you could say. Let yourself remind yourself of 3 things that you are grateful for right now. Gratitude and appreciation for self and for all. So now we'll lower down, press down through the feet, down through the strong legs. Arms can be along the body. Lengthen through the spine. I'll show from the side. Just a nice straight spine and lower on down. Bend the knees. Have the knees meet. Have the feet go wide. We talked about before class some pelvis or some sacrum sensation. This is a great pose for grounding of the sacrum, to find it neutral, to find it soothed, to find it 100% supported by the earth element. Know that this pose is always here for you. Know that this earth element is always here for you, supporting you, wanting your best version, your best self. So I'll just show from the side what I'm doing too. Bent knees in, feet wide, and allow yourself to just ground the spine as a whole unit from the sacrum to the head. Breathe in and out through the pelvis that we've been working with this whole time. Maybe hands are on the stomach and the heart like I have it. If so, you're welcome to breathe into your hands. Allow this breath into the hands, deep and slow, to further ground you to the earth element below. All right. So stay here if this feels great and soothing. If you'd like to work with some leg engagements, begin to engage the legs into your body. Give yourself a little hug, any movement that you want to do. Remember, those audible exhales are always welcome. Or the horse breath, letting the lips, the mouth vibrate like. If you'd like, take the legs up, stacking the feet over the hips. Keep the hands along the body, or you can have them still resting on the body or interlaced back behind the head, kind of like what we did in our Warrior One, where we did that heart opener. Here, they're just supporting and cradling your head. So take one of those variations with the arms and allow yourself to connect to the legs. Reverse gravity helping to soothe and get new nutrients and blood to the legs. You're helping speed up the process of draining to the heart so that there can be fresh blood, fresh oxygen, rejuvenating, nutrifying this area. Just an offering for you guys to know in your toolkits, you can always do this against the wall. So it's hard for me to show right now with my setup, but you would just put your hips right against the wall, the closest you can, and then spiral your feet on the wall and have the heels supported by the wall. It's great and very calming. So let's take a few more breaths here. If this is not feeling good, remember, just come to that first pose we did, grounding the spine, breathing into the body. If you'd like to try a different pose, try V'ing out the legs to your limit. So just what you can handle, don't have to go anything too wide. Just allow the legs to go together, neutral, and then V out. And pause at your limit. Take a few deep breaths, and then bring them nice and stable back to center. Do this a few times if it feels good. Otherwise, just keep the legs up. You can do the legs up for really upwards of 5 to 30 minutes. So really you can stay there the rest of class, know that that's there for you if it feels good for you. And I can notice one of my legs is opening more than the other. Try to find a balance. Find that your both legs are moving in unison. If one's tighter, only open the other one to that limit and then close from there. Take a few more breaths doing this if it feels good for your body. Keeping your lower body engagements on from the feet. I'm pointing, but you could flex or point. Engaging from the feet to the pelvis. All right. Next time you come back to neutral, bend the knees. We've been there a while. If you haven't already bent the knees, give yourself a nice hugging gesture into self. Arms wrap around the knees. Feel free to rock and rotate on the spine. Let this soothe, comfort, and ground you. Know that this comforting is always here for you, always supporting you. And we'll come to a twist. So they'll take the knees bent to the left. You can also just keep one leg straightened, the upper leg if it feels good, and then extend the right arm out to the side. Allow yourself to fully release anything no longer serving. that shedding process we've been talking about. Reflecting on any inner communications, looking to just witness and observe them, no judgments, just holding healing space for anything that wants to come out superficially from within. Engage your legs back to center. Take a moment. You can rock if it feels good. If you want to take the legs back up, stretch, just, feel comfortable to do what's good. When you're ready, opposite twist, knees to the right, left arm extends, and surrender. Again, that releasing of what no longer serves, shedding concept that we've been talking about. Begin to engage your knees back to center. Again, give yourself a loving hug, whatever feels right. And as you are ready, rock and roll up to a seated position. We just have another moment or two. I just want to check in with the pelvis before we go to a Shavasana. But no, you can stay supine. You can stay on your back and already open up if you want to a Shavasana. So comfortable seated position. This is comfortable for me, but please just cross-legged or sitting on anything. A chair is welcome. This is just for the recording too and offerings in case we have all different styles, welcome. So take one hand to the low belly again. I just want to check in with what we started with. One hand to the sacrum or the low back. Breathe low, deep breaths. Pelvic floor awareness. Awareness of the whole pelvis, the whole pelvic girdle as well. This is where our lower chakras in yoga, we talk about these plexuses of energy. These are where our lower plexuses are. They help to ground and soothe us, stable foundation. Try switching the hands, see if you get any different of response, maybe not. Just keep breathing low and steady. So it's just kind of funky, but I want to offer it. I have a mudra, which is really a gesture with meaning. It has a purpose of reaction in the body. So this mudra is with the hands. I'm coming up close. Feel free to try this mudra. We've talked about the pelvis a ton today. This is a balancing hand posture for the pelvis and the hips. I'm going to start with the harder part of it. It's weird. So bring the pinky to your ring finger. Doesn't matter which one, which way. The other ones connect as well. So just find that both pinkies are connected to the other ring finger. Have the middle finger just stack on top of one another. Either way, doesn't matter. And then meet the pointer, meet the thumbs. So one more time, pinky to ring. If this is really challenging, just let it go too. It's not meant to confuse or anything. Pinky to ring, kind of looking like this. And then middle fingers stack, pointers connect, thumbs connect. It's kind of a funky one, I know. Let's try something or whatever you're experiencing like this. Doesn't matter if the hands aren't exactly right. The intention is of most importance. Balancing the pelvis, balancing the hips. Take a few deep breaths with that intention if it feels right for you. Balancing the pelvis, balancing the hips. And when you're ready, now's the time to either stay seated for our Shavasana or meditation, or you can begin to lower back down. So Shavasana looks like feet as wide as you want, lowering your body down to the mat, arms as wide as you want. But check in with your pelvis or your low back. If there's any sensation, just bend those knees just as we did before, and you can support this way. We'll just go through some simple breath here and hold some space for some silence, inner healing. Please breathe in and out through the pelvic floor, the area near the sit bones and the inner thighs. Sending your breath downward, your energy downward. Please breathe if that feels stable. Otherwise, stay there with the pelvic floor. If it feels stable, breathe through the pelvis as a whole. Directing energy downward. If you feel confident there, you can breathe in and out through the navel. Otherwise, just work on the lower two, grounding down with the breath. Maybe you're breathing in and out through the navel. And here's the last one. If you'd like, you're welcome to just stay with any of those lower three. The last one for now can be to breathe in and out through the heart space, the center of the chest. Maybe visualizations of those nostrils on the chest, like a nose on your chest, to breathe fully into the lungs. Slowly, just let yourself be still and come to soft breaths here. Meditating on the qualities of the heart: compassion, forgiveness, unconditional love, and kindness for yourself and for all. Begin to find those deep breaths in and out through the chest, visualizing maybe nostrils on the chest like a nose. Kind of makes me giggle, but it helps to breathe deep and full into the heart. Compassion, forgiveness, kindness, unconditional love. Excuse me. Please feel free to bring movement, stretching, if it feels good. Know that you can also stay here and lay in Shavasana for as long as you have to offer. You can also close out class with the Oms and Shantis from wherever you are. So just an offering that you can stay where you are. If you'd like to come up to seated, take some gentle stretches for yourself. Begin to bend the knees and come up to seated when and if you feel ready. Just as we started class, we'll just close with some group harmonization if you'd like as an offering. So we can do those 3 Oms and 3 Shantis together here. Root down through your base wherever you are, lengthen through the spine, whether it's just softly or you're sitting up, does not really matter. Take an inhale and exhale through the nose. Be aware you're breathing there. Let the hands float to heart space if this feels good, connecting to inner vibration. On the next exhale, you're welcome to join in 3 Oms and 3 Shantis. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Meaning peace, peace, peace. You can bow to yourself, to each other, to all beings. Namaste, blessings to all. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.